All right, so we're hanging out here at the Nashville airport with Falcon.
What's up, everybody?
And yeah, I had some more thoughts after I recorded that video this morning about accepting praise. I mean, I think that's spot on. You know, on some level, I have all these people expressing to me and telling me things about me that I don't really seem to believe about myself. And I mean, I think at least in part for me, you know, it's kind of a trauma response. Just because it's like, I mean, there are times where people are giving me praise and, you know, where it doesn't feel safe for me. Which is interesting. That's going to be fun to unpack. But, you know, my brother and I were having a conversation about all of this stuff over breakfast this morning. And it's just, it's not just that one discrete issue. It's like all self-care bundled into one, whether it's mental, emotional, or physical. You know, I mean, I do my morning walks and stuff, but apart from that, it's like I don't take care of myself physically. And haven't for quite some time. And you know, it's like a lot of that stuff has really intensified over the last couple of years after the whole doxing thing 2 years ago. But you know, it's like the first couple of weeks that I was back into in-person therapy this past January, you know, I was giving my therapist like the whole backstory and things like that. And then after like the first month, when she really started to kind of have a handle on me and my history and my experiences and all of those kinds of things, we spent a solid month on, you know, before we started dealing with any of like the substantive stuff, we spent a whole month on, you know, me trying to recognize when I'm safe and circumstances in which I'm safe and can let my hypervigilance down and let my guard down and feel comfortable doing that. And I mean, I'm still struggling with that, but it's just, you know, just shifting these things in my mind, and you know, and it's like, I mean, I was thinking this morning that this trip, I mean, we haven't even been in Nashville for 48 hours, and this trip was just huge in so many ways for me. You know, and going to that Bulwark event and getting recognition from so many people who were just there in the crowd, and feeling safe doing that in that environment. And then, you know, but getting recognition from you know, Tim Miller, who's somebody who I admire, someone whose work I admire and support. And even though I frequently disagree with him, but it's like when he saw me and we had this like mutual fanboy little bro down kind of thing, you know, that was wild. It was a really wild experience, and my brother got a couple of really good photographs from that that I think really expressed what that moment was, and it was fantastic. It was great, and I've just been kind of like, how is this happening? And you know, just trying to let that in and just be comfortable with it and acknowledge it. And it's just trying to be conscious of so many things when, you know, so often I feel like I'm surrounded by so many people who are unconscious to everything. And, you know, I existed that way for a long time, and I don't want to do that anymore. But it's like, you know, when you engage in this kind of path to really learn about yourself and know yourself, and consistently acknowledge the things that you're feeling and trying to understand why. It's hard work. It's hard work, but it's like I had so many patterns from my PTSD that I just really, really, really did not want to keep repeating. And so I got back into therapy at the beginning of the year, and I joined a men's group that meets every other week. And I told my brother this morning, it's like I haven't had PTSD flashback since before Christmas. Over 5 months. And that's the longest stretch that I've gone without one in 2 years. And it's just learning how to better understand that, and learning how to regulate my nervous system on an ongoing basis, not just when something pops off like that, but daily, moment by moment, hour by hour. And it's really important. It's really been a learning experience, but so many of these things kind of culminated in this trip, which I really did not expect. I thought we were just flying in and out, less than 48 hours, but so many things have come up, and so many things have come up that are directly tied to the things that I'm working on in therapy. And it's just been a really tremendous experience to just kind of experience these kinds of things in real time and work on them in real time. With my brother here, be able to talk about them in real time. So it's been a really momentous couple days in Nashville for many, many reasons. I'm really grateful for him, and I'm really grateful that we made this trip. So I hope everybody's having a good Saturday.